We've got the most decorated player in the NFL this year in our studio. The one, the only. He's number 2 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. We got Pat Surtain rocking and rolling with us today. What's up, Pat?
What's going on, man? Another week, another show, episode.
I mean, another hour, another award for you, Pat. They just keep rolling in, and it has been quite the 2 weeks. We had you on 15 days ago. And let me just go through some of the things that have happened with the team, the season. Day after you were on, Russell Wilson was benched. Then you go out and beat the Chargers, eliminated from the playoffs like 30 seconds later. The team moved on from Kareem Jackson. You were named a Pro Bowl starter. You won the Community Impact Award for the Broncos. You were named the Demaryius Thomas Team MVP. Season ended with that loss to the Raiders. George Paton said he wants you in Denver as a Bronco for a long time. Then in the past 2 hours, you're named first team All-Pro by the NFLPA and nominated for the NFLPA Allen Page Community Award. And that's just the past 2 weeks, Pat. My goodness, I know. This is just insane, Pat. Yeah. And let's just start with the most recent things. These awards that you're raking in left and right, starting with All-Pro Pat this morning.
Yeah, it sort of caught me off guard because when I got the message, I was asleep. Then I woke up, my agent texted me in like a group chat with me and my parents and let me know that I was not made All-Pro NFLPA team. So I think it's just a huge honor to be recognized as such across the league amongst my peers. And obviously back-to-back, I can't complain about it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's still more work to do on my part. And, I'm just keep chiming at it, keep on working and keep on building for more success.
I mean, it's been they've only done this award that's voted on by players. That's why it's the NFLPA award. So it's voted on by your peers. They've only done this 2 years, and he's first team both years. Not just back to back, but you've swept this award. And I mean, Pro Bowl starter, All-Pro. You can't get any better, guys.
No, this is a pretty fire award list that you're putting together. What's your favorite so far? I think there's a lot of great ones, but what's your favorite?
I mean, obviously, I think All-Pro has more, like, meaning to it in a way. Pro Bowl is a big accomplishment as well, too. But I feel like nowadays everybody shoot for All-Pros. I mean, I know they got 2 All-Pro lists, this NFLPA and 1 AP All-Pro. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that one, too. So
that NFLPA one seems like it'd be tough to get, too, because those are like the players are voting on it. And I was in there on Top 100 day when everybody's voting for those, like, Tyler Lancaster was getting votes. There were a bunch of guys getting votes in there. So to wind up at the top of that list, I mean, he's the best practice squad defensive tackle in the NFL. I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, getting the players to vote for you, that's impressive.
Yeah, man. Even like when the players like respect you in a certain way to, vote you back-to-back years, it means a lot. I mean, and it says a lot about me and my game, obviously. And it was like crazy to me because I ain't know if I was gonna get All-Pro. I mean, I just think like this year I felt like it was up and down for me, but I just try to stay consistent with it. But to be nominated again, it's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Where do you think this season? Because you played 3 seasons now. Yeah. So where does this one rank compared to the other 2 in your mind? Just for you personally.
I think it was a good season for me. I felt like there's some games I could have been better at on my part, but I just think the whole year for me it's a pretty good season compared to the past 2. I feel like it was pretty similar to that, but it wasn't like the same level, I believe. But
Huh.
like I said, it's still room to improve.
Do you feel like maybe it was a little step back from last year?
Yeah, a little step back.
So what does that
in my
mean? That
standard.
you're still one of the top 2 cornerbacks in the NFL if you took a step back from last year?
I don't know. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a testament to my like work ethic, my play on the field, and how people recognize me across the league. So it's definitely a huge honor for sure.
Who was the Cowboys cornerback? Was the other one that was named first team All-Pro? Bland.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
The biggest difference between you guys is you didn't give up as many big plays, but also he had more big plays with the interceptions and the pick sixes.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
were so close to an interception, maybe a pick six on Sunday.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got caught up in the moment. I was like, the lights got too big or something. But I don't know. Like, to be honest, I only had one pick. And I was like, during that time, it was like, man, I needed a pick, man. I needed a play to happen for me. And it's like, in that moment, I was like, man, the moment got too big. I ain't had one of these in a minute. Then it just dropped. So, I mean, shoot.
Because that was a
But, man,
diving one, right? We were in the press box, which
yeah.
is like in
Like,
the
I had
sky.
it. And it
You
just
did,
dropped
yeah.
out of my hand. Like, man, God.
And that's on Devontae Adams too.
Yeah.
Like-
so you already ready to talk messy in your mind.
I was like,
about to
man, I'm
get
going
it.
to the crib,
Yep.
ball in the air. Yeah, I'm about to get paid. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that is fun though. Like, at least from my perspective, like that is your rival in my mind. Is
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, because obviously you got like Keenan Allen, who's been like kind of in and out, but it's those matchups between you and Devontae. Those are like the ones that I look forward to, and to come out and like immediately that plays right there is just crazy.
Yeah. You know, it was a lot of film study going into that. Obviously, they was like backed up. You know, when I'm thinking backed up, I'm looking of, you know, yards to get them up the field. So like quicks, a lot of easy access throws. So I looked at it, I was like, okay. When the ball was in there, it was like my time to shine.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't capitalize on it.
I feel like those are the hardest plays to make, though, when you're like so prepared and know exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
It's like you're almost
It's
too
like
prepared.
You did all the hard stuff out the way.
Yep.
I mean, you was locked in. You read everything. The easy part is just making the play, and I
Yep.
didn't capitalize on the easy part. So
I've definitely been there.
Is that like when the hole's wide open and it's just you and the running back and he has like 7 yards to get to you?
Yeah.
And you break down, you're ready for it, and then you just like slip last second or something?
Yeah, or even against the Raiders out of play. Like, they were backed up. I watched it
Yeah.
on film. They only ran one play backed up. And it was a 5-yard out to the tight end. And I was like, I'm going to just jump it. So I jumped it, but I missed the pick, and so then I missed the tackle. Like, it was just bad all the way around. But I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I just didn't make the play.
I mean,
So-
5 catches for 46 yards for Devontae. I'll sign up for that any
Yeah.
day. So still a damn good day. And Pat, it's wild that you just got so many awards now, and you're so used to it that you're just sleeping through the awards now. Well, when you get it, you're just you're sleeping
nah,
through
I
it.
wouldn't say I'm sleeping through it. Obviously, I'm very appreciative of it. Like I said, it definitely means a lot. You know, moving forward, it's just something that I can look forward to build on success-wise. So, no, obviously, I know there's many awards to come. So let's see if I could snatch a few more.
And there's
Meantime.
one more. The what is it? The AP that puts out the other All-Pro.
Yeah.
That's this Friday. So
Okay.
just be prepared.
'We'll-
48 more hours.
We'll see.
And you were asked yesterday last week about winning the team MVP award, being named a Pro Bowl starter, winning the community awards, and you said like, I'm already running out of space for all these
Yeah.
awards.
Nah.
Do you have an award room because you just got a new house?
I know. So I'm working on that right now. Cause honestly, I already got like a little setup in the basement area, but that's already running out of space already. So I'm looking to find a new room, find a new space to put more of my accolades in. So hopefully I can figure that out soon before it starts to pile up and my house is just cluttered with the mess. So,
Yeah, you're just gonna wind up with trophy cases in every room.
yeah.
Like, you'll just have to put like the worst ones in the pantry or something in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to get like that separate garage like Michael Strahan has, where you put a couple cars in there. You just got a room
yeah,
for the
yeah.
trophy
Yeah.
lays. Yeah.
That's a
That's
better
lit.
plan than the pantry.
Yeah, that's lit for sure.
Just buy a separate house
Yep.
for it right next door. It's like turns into just a little museum of awards.
Yeah.
Man, that is so cool, Pat. And There's also been, let's just now take a step back to the second most recent thing that happened, and it was even after the season ended yesterday. George Paton had some very interesting comments about your future, which I want to get into after I tell you about our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place a $5 bet over at DraftKings Sportsbook. They're going to hit you with $200 in bonus bets, which you can use on NFL playoffs this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You want to get in over at DraftKings Sportsbook and use that code DNVR to get this. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, HOPE's available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus specs expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restriction terms and responsible gaming resources, because you can also get in on hockey with these bets. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024, all rights reserved. And Hank, you're right. This is the first time I've read these when they turned the numbers into words.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
Reading 777. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. What isn't terrible though is Circle K, and right now they actually have an inner circle program. The way that works is it's a free membership. It's simple. You just download the app, use the QR code, give them your email and phone number, and then after that you get a whole bunch of deals. So your first 5 fill-ups of gas, they're 25 cents off of every gallon. There's also a bunch of other stuff like if your first 5 Polar Pops are free. Every 6th one's free on several items, including pizza, the stuff on the roller grill, dispensed beverages, donuts, all that. So go to Circle K, sign up for the Inner Circle, and take advantage of all these deals that they're offering right now, especially the 25 cents off each gallon of gas.
We've got some breaking news coming down.
We do.
Not in the Broncos world, but in the NFL world that I want to touch on. Pete Carroll, no longer the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Damn.
That one's crazy.
Especially with the way things have gone in Denver the past 2 years, it seemed like if I was Seattle, probably just would have given Pete the job for the rest of his life as long as he wanted it.
Yeah, that's surprising, man.
Yeah.
What's next for Pete? He got, how old is Pete? 80? Almost 80? 70
He's pushing
something?
80 at least.
73, I think.
Yeah.
Is he that young?
73 or 74, yeah, oldest coach in the NFL. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
he's that young, and he's going to be 73 this
Really?
upcoming season. And
It's like
it's-
he just resigned.
I like how you saved that. You saved
So, yeah, so
Exactly.
just resigned,
I was
so-
right, I was right.
sounds like it. It sounds like he resigned, and he might.
Oh.
Mutually parting
Yeah.
ways, I believe, but
Oh.
could remain with the team in a different capacity.
Different
Yeah.
role.
What happened with Kubiak at the end? Because that wasn't quite the same as this. That was like a health thing,
No, yeah,
so he
he
backed
was
off.
having like health problems.
And he never
So
did come back, did he? No.
No, not here. He took a year off and then was like offensive coordinator over at the Vikings, I think.
He was
Yeah.
very close to
Yeah.
coming back,
Yeah.
though, because it was all but a done deal that he was going to become. Who was that? Would that have been Vic's? Yeah, it would have been Vic's offensive coordinator when Vic was first hired. That
Yeah.
was the plan.
Uh-huh.
And then some things didn't add up with, I think, who Gary wanted on his staff, because that first time when Kubiak stepped away for health reasons,
Yep.
there was also a belief that he wanted to bring all of his offensive staff back. And John Elway, the GM at the time, said, we're not bringing your offensive staff back. It's your offensive staff or it's you. And he said, well, I'm not going to fire my guys.
Exactly.
So I got health reasons. I'm going to take a step away for a couple of years.
Yeah, you gotta stay loyal, man. I think that's key. And I think one of the people was like his son, Clint. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
He's coming wherever I go. We're not even negotiating this.
Yeah.
Like,
He's going to be at Thanksgiving dinner, so he's I'm not
Yeah.
firing him right now.
Wow. That's what you need, Pat. Like your dad winds up in like coaching, head coach job somewhere, and then he could get you set up as like the defensive coordinator or something.
I ain't gonna lie, that'd be cool with me. It's not like I won't be opposed to anything he said. Like I could tell him straight up, hey, you know what I mean? Like, like if I see you do something wrong, I'll be like, man, I don't mess with that. And if he see me doing something wrong, it's like a mutual thing. Like, nah, I don't mess with that either.
Okay.
I mean, he's on track to be.
It'd be a pretty cool relationship though if that was to happen.
Would you ever want to be a coach?
I don't know. I tell myself no, but I don't know. I mean, I love the game so much. So I feel like over time I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna just chill. But you know, once that time opportunity come up again, I can't run away from it. I feel like I'm gonna just take it.
If you got, like, say, like 15 years from now, you get offered a job as a defensive coordinator, you also get offered a job, like, as the color analyst on TV broadcasts, which one would you choose?
Same money?
Same money for both.
You know me, I might be a coach.
Yeah?
I don't
You
know,
like
that TV
better?
broadcast, like, it's cool, but I feel like sometimes it'd be a little messy sometimes, but it depends on, what the role is. Obviously, people doing a great job in their respective roles. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather be better off coaching in a way. So,
How long did your dad take off before at the end of his playing career till coaching? Was it like 10 years?
yeah, it was a little minute. I say maybe like 7 years, 5 to 7
Yeah.
years. I mean, he was there when I was playing youth football. When I was little league, he was coaching a little bit, but then after that, he really took a break a little bit. Then he went back into high school. So.
See, your little league coach?
Yeah, for a year. Then he left it, took a break to himself. Then he went back into high school. So.
Yeah, yeah. Todd, are you a coach for any of your kids' teams?
Basketball.
Basketball. Wow.
Yeah,
Never
got
did
skills,
football?
bro. No, I haven't done football yet, but that'll come soon.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Payton as a head coach for his son's football team?
Yep.
That would be wild to be
I know,
like the
right?
coach on the other side going up against Peyton's team,
'Cause
because
we
I
have
think
to
he
beat
also
you.
has like Orlando Franklin on the
Yeah,
He
exactly.
has like 5 other former Broncos coaching the team.
No, we got to beat them. If
I mean,
I'm the other coach,
exactly.
I'm getting kids from 2 grades up, hey, come help us out.
I feel
Fake
like
birth certificates.
they're like 7th graders or something, and they just run like an insanely huge playbook.
Yeah.
And so like a little Marshall,
Yep.
Marshall can handle all that, but like everybody else is like we gotta slow things down a bit here.
Speaking of the future, Pat, George Paton was asked yesterday, because now after you've completed 3 seasons, you're eligible for a contract extension if that's what you want to do now. You also have a 4th and a 5th year option that they could pick up, and then there's potential 2 franchise tags that could be thrown your way. So it's nothing that's urgent. But I believe it was the second question to George Paton, who makes these contract things, was about you. Was about, we know you like Pat. Do you want to get a contract extension done this offseason? And here's what he had to say.
I mean, we're all big fans of Pat. I think Sean said we're going to have a big meeting in a couple of weeks and kind of go through the entire roster, Pat included, and we want Pat here a long time. I'm not prepared to make any statements on anything moving forward.
Pat, you prepared to announce that a contract extension has been done?
I mean, shoot. Obviously, when you in the talks of negotiating and contracts and stuff, obviously that's you see that in the horizon. Obviously, first 3 years you sat out a great couple of years, so there's gonna eventually become talks of that. Obviously, I don't know when the time being will happen, but me and George got a great relationship. I got the utmost respect for him. He got the utmost respect for me. So, whenever that time comes, whenever it's the right time, I'll definitely feel good about it, feel great about it.
Now, from an outside perspective, when looking at contracts, there's kind of an advantage for both sides of getting it done early, and maybe reasons for both sides to wait. I think an advantage for you to get it done right now, signing bonus, a lot of money up front, guaranteed money that hits the bank account right away. For the team, there's also an advantage too, because then it locks you in for a very long time, and then maybe also potentially lowers the average per year, because regardless of what sport, regardless of what position, just every single year, the contracts get bigger and bigger. So that's the advantage for the team. The advantage for you for waiting is the exact opposite for the team doing it right now, is that average per year is only going to go up, especially as you only get more awards, as other cornerbacks around the league just get more. So when you view this, is this something that you want to get done sooner than later, or how do you approach this?
Yeah, in situations like this, because obviously I'm new to it. And I just look at the best way was gonna help shape my future. What I mean? Obviously, with guaranteed money, obviously it's going to, hit your bank right away in a good, meaningful way. But I think when you look at it as negotiating wise and contract wise, I think what everybody like to do is wait, and they want to. If you think you're should be making top money, they'll wait out to make that top annual money that they rightfully so deserve. So it just depends on the right situation and the right timing of things. So that's how I view it. Obviously, when the time come, I got a great agent in Tory Danny. He's great with these things. So when that time come, I'm gonna reach out to him. He's gonna obviously tell me, the business side of things that I'm unaware of. But it's going the time when the time come. Obviously, it's gonna be something that's gonna be, I'm gonna look forward to.
It's such a good point about kind of betting on yourself, because I feel like I only think of like players betting on themselves when they decline like a 1-year deal and they want to play on that franchise tag instead of taking like a cheaper long-term deal. But also, you're right, Pat. I mean, it is a little bit betting on yourself too, even though it's not just 1 year that you have left. You have 2, potentially up to like 4 years left on the deal. But there is some of that too.
Yeah, I feel like we always like to talk about salary cap now as retired players or analysts. As a player, like, do you think about? I know I never thought about that. Like for me, the money gotta work, and it gotta slot me as either where I play as a linebacker, my production. Like that's all I care about. I don't care what y'all going through. My money gotta work out.
Yeah. For me, I mean, honestly, it's like in order to make that type of money, my production got to show for
sure.
itself. So it's like if you focus yourself just on okay, I gotta get this contract. I feel like you're not so much worried about your play. Like your play got to match that contract, and I feel like I'm focused like these first 3 years. Like next year of course too. I'm just focused on like staying level-headed, staying on my play and staying consistent on the field.
We've done a damn good job of that.
Exactly. Because if they came to you and was like, hey, it's a little tight for us right now, my man. Yeah. Can you take a – you like, what are you talking about? That ain't got nothing to do with me.
It does seem like, from the outside perspective, though, like this should be kind of simple. Like when you have a young guy like you who's like at the – I mean, according to the All-Pro list, like the very top of the cornerback list, you just take whatever the highest paid cornerback in the league is, add a little bit to it, and that's how it goes. Like, and you see it with quarterbacks too. Like, it's like, it's Joe Burrow's time, it's Justin Herbert's time, and so you just add a little bit more on top. Like Quinn Miners, he's eligible for an extension too. That's a little bit trickier because he, like with offensive linemen, like the accolades are different. Like, there's no stats to back things up, and so it's like, do you reset the market with him? Is he like top 5? But with you, it seems like when the time comes, the deal is just somebody's making 23 a year, you make it 25. It seems pretty simple.
Yeah, like you said, it's just gonna keep rising annually a year. So, because obviously everybody's like as players, everybody looking like, okay, who's gonna reset the market? Who's gonna reset the market? Who's gonna do this? And before it was like, okay, because I think right now Jair is the highest. Paid per year, and I think Denzel got the highest contract or something like that. So obviously I'm looking at that like, okay, how can I chime in on that, and how could I, increase that margin in a way? So
you don't necessarily want to get that contract tomorrow. You want a couple more guys to get some deals.
That's what in everybody else's mind. Like, okay, I'm waiting for the next person to reset the market. And by that time comes out, okay, now let me reset it. Let me be highest paid. So. That's how players be thinking for sure. You
brought up Jair. Did you see that he like ran out for the coin toss? Just like, what'd you think of that?
I don't know, man. I mean, he does got a point. I mean, I feel like it was wrong for them to not let him be captain because he's from Charlotte. And obviously, like, I'm pretty sure that's a big moment for him. So I just feel like he just took matters into his own hands. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a captain myself. I mean, obviously, he didn't know what to do, but like, But in that moment, I feel like it was like a time for him to be a captain.
See, that's my thing is like, go out there, let somebody else say like defer. You don't need to go out there and say like we want the defense out there. Like if you don't know what you're doing, that's a different conversation.
So it seemed like his teammates supported him too, like backed him up from what his answer said. And then we saw a very similar thing in the NFL this Sunday. Did you see what happened with the Saints?
Oh, with them scoring.
With them. And did you hear how it came to fruition, how it happened?
Yeah, I think I tweeted something out.
You did, that's right.
I think Jameis was talking to a reporter. and the reporter was telling him like, "Oh, I think it was wrong on you to do that, and I think it was the wrong play call. Obviously, your coach didn't approve." I feel like, and in my head, I'm like, what does reporter got to do with anything that goes on in that play call? You know what I mean? Like, it was just weird to me. And obviously, Jameis, I think he approached it the right way.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jameis, he's a character.
Lost it.
He's a character. Like, I respect that though. Like, he's always gonna stay true to himself. That's what it seemed like. So.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of people that not just players.
Obviously, a lot of people
gone
going
off.
like, thinking like, okay, that's the wrong play, but obviously others gonna be like, it's football. Like, obviously his teammates, they trying to get him his first touchdown, the running back. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what the reporter was saying, like, well, you've got to play these guys like twice next year. It's like,
That doesn't.
so what? Like, they weren't going to try if you didn't do it. Like, what does that
Yeah.
have to do with it?
Yeah, it's weird.
Also, smart on his part to call like the fake kneel down, because if they come out in like a different formation, like coach just calls a timeout and says like we can't do that.
Yeah.
So like that's heads up thinking like, okay, we gotta make this look like we're just going to kneel it down, but I'm just gonna sneak this over there.
But then that's what some people got upset about was
Yeah.
that they showed the kneel down formation. Man, the fact that that's Arthur Smith's last play as the head coach of the
that's right.
Falcons is tough, man.
That is tough.
It's tough business.
Yes,
It's tough business.
yes, it is.
There's only like 4 teams. I think about 4 teams left who could be on Hard Knocks next year, and the Broncos are one of them. What would you think of being on Hard Knocks?
Shoot, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Obviously, it'll create more attention amongst us, but I mean, I would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, like certain parts is gonna get to a point in time where it's be like, damn, okay, I'm tired of all these cameras. Like, damn, man, every day. But like, I think for a team and to see like the structure of the team, like the camaraderie, I think that'd be dope to be on that for sure.
And Sean, we know Hard Knocks is the last thing
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
wants, but you don't get to choose. If there's 2 criteria. What is it? You miss the playoffs back-to-back years, and you don't have a new coach, then you're eligible for it. Broncos one of those teams now. And Sean last week said he was asked about criticism that he's got for the way that he handled Russell Wilson's benching and stuff. And he said, that's the one reason I want to be on Hard Knocks, is to show that I'm not just this kind of hard ass, that I have some humor to me. And then Greg Penner said, like, Sean's a funny guy at times too.
Yeah. I think it'll definitely show personas amongst the team, like different personalities. The things you don't see off the field. I think it'll give like fans, allow them to see like, okay, this guy's just not a football player. Obviously, there's more to him and stuff like that. So I think it allows us to show our personality in ways.
What personality do you think among the whole team this past year, we, as people that aren't in the locker room all the time, would be like, wow, we weren't expecting that. Like when we had Josie and Alex on, they were like, oh yeah, Stephen A. Stranad, because of like,
Stranad is a debater for sure.
Yes.
He would debate the hell out of you.
Yes.
Whether he's right or wrong. He's always gonna think he's right all the time.
I can't remember which side he was on, but a couple weeks ago there was like he was arguing with somebody like loudly for a long time about Kyron Williams or Bijan Robinson. Like which one's the best? And it's like go and go and go and go, and they just won't stop.
Yeah, we got some characters. I ain't gonna lie. That'd be very exciting for sure.
I think we need more Garrett Bowles. I think
More
that's what the world needs more of him. Yes.
All right.
Did you see him talking about the 13 quarterbacks that he's blocked for since he's been here?
That's a
Did
hell
you
of
see
a
the little
list,
clip?
man.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see
he
that.
went through, this was just last week, he went through all of them and named them. He had it perfectly until he got Russell Wilson's name. And then for the most recent quarterback that he's blocked for, the one he blocked for like 3 days before and the one that he was blocking for 4 days later, he called Case Keenum. And no one corrected him. He didn't realize. He just went on. So he said Case Keenum twice and forgot Jared Stidham.
Damn, Stiddy.
I know, a sad turn of events for him. But what's not sad is Illegal Pete's. Illegal Pete's Mark is going to pick you up and their happy hour is to die for. So check out our friends over at Illegal Pete's, where you can get the best marks, even to go. You can get the best burritos and really the best queso that is out there. So get their nachos, get them up, I think upside down nachos, where they put the chips on the side. It's just a bowl of queso with then like all the burrito toppings on top, and then you just dip the chips in. It is so good, so you can't go wrong with Illegal Pete's, whether it's just for lunch, dinner, or if you want to get your party catered. Illegal Pete's has it, and they've got a new location in Gold's Marketplace in where is it? Gold's Marketplace in Gold's Marketplace. Kipling, overlooking Crown Hill Park. I swore it said like Westminster on the last time. So check them out. They've got locations all over. You'll be able to find one. Illegal Pete's.
And you know you also can't go wrong with is Red Hawk Roofing. They're the best roofers in Denver. They have joined the DNVR team, and they use quality materials, have decades of experience, a quick response time, and they have Colorado's best estimators and contractors on staff. And that's great because they have a free no-obligation roof and property inspection, free in-depth photo reports for all inspection. Winter's coming, so don't wait to take care of any issues before the big storm hits. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com and tell them DNVR sent you.
Okay, two quick things back to contracts and negotiating, because you both, Pat, like you said, you're kind of new to it now because with rookie deals, now it's just like slotted. There's not much negotiating. Todd, you've been through this a couple of times, one for a nice second contract. And just as an outsider's perspective, I think it'd be cool to kind of like take us through how this process goes, because 99% of the time when we talk to players and it's like, oh, what's the negotiating process going to be like? Every player's just like, I'm going to let my agent deal with that.
Yeah.
And of course, that's why you have an agent. That's why you pay them. That's why they're there representing you. But like, what is that like when you say, I just let my agent take care of that? Is it you talking to your agent every day? Do you just wait till a final contract comes through? Do you tell the agent what you prioritize, like years or guaranteed or average? What does that whole process look like?
Yeah, so it's can be a lengthy process at times because you and your agent are kind of going back and forth about all the projections before the conversations even start. So I think the NFL is kind of slotted, like we talked about. Like if you're the best corner, okay, then you should be paid as the best corner. Okay, if you're fifth best linebacker, you should be paid somewhere between like the third best and the seventh best. So it's kind of all slotting, and you and your agent kind of talk about that as far as numbers. And then he reaches out to the team, and then you kind of get a perspective on like how they feel about it. And first, the team always lowballs you, so
Of course, yeah.
it's easy to feel disrespected. Like, what the hell? I've been playing for them. But
So your agent then comes back to you and tells you what the team said?
exactly
Okay.
what the team's number are, and then they also like tell you like with me, I had like two more teams that were offering me deals, kind of tell you where they're at. And then actually, the Pittsburgh Steelers gave me a much better deal than the Broncos did. Broncos called my agent back. He told them about it. They matched it, and that's how I ended up staying the Bronco. But just a long negotiation process, and most of it's handled by your agent, thank God, because they can say a lot more to the team than you can say. You know what I'm saying? You may want to go off, but you got to remember you're trying to work out a deal. You're trying to come back, so it's good that the agent has to do it.
Well, and probably for both sides too, right? Like the team also, it's not the coach telling you to your face, no, you missed this many tackles last year. It's the team telling your agent that. So there's a little middle ground or a middleman for that, and that probably helps with that a lot too. And of course, you did your big contract during free agency.
Yep.
Because I think you signed or it was announced like 5 minutes into free agency, so you've been talking with the team a little bit before then.
Yep.
But that's obviously different than Pat. Pat, if you signed during free agency, that's, again, probably like 4 years from now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'll take some time for me to hit that mark.
So are you kind of starting that process with your agent about like, here's what I'm looking for, or does he just know?
I mean, I feel like with the projection, like you mentioned about projections and the way how things going, I feel like he has a sense of it. Obviously, we talk about like, you know, it's almost time to start like talking. Like obviously, we talk about these things every day just from his perspective.
Right.
Not necessarily numbers, but like what's gonna happen. You know, once the time comes, and you know, it's good to have those conversations with your agent prior, because now you're not, you know, you sort of understand like what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like a big surprise.
Right.
So yeah, Torrey, he's one of the best doing it. So having conversations with him a lot helps.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the negotiations to start, or is that like almost like homework? Like it'll be nice when it's over, but I don't really want to deal with it.
No, I think it's some stage that I want to be a part of.
Yeah, because money on the way.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. Yep.
yeah. You know, when you got that feeling like, man, it's just a blessing in general to be able to negotiate. You know what I mean? Because it's what you work for your whole life, to be able to, like, you know, feed for your future family, you know, family, whatever. So, you know, when you're able to negotiate and sit down and talk, you know, about future money or whatsoever, you know, it's a big deal for sure.
You're about to have a lot more friends popping in your phone too.
Even that.
Todd, did you notice that at all?
Oh yeah, I had business opportunities and cousins hit me up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't talked to y'all in 3 years.
Hey Todd, how's it going?
Crazy.
Oh man, did it ever get to the point where like you just go up to the GM's office?
No.
So you wanted to keep that separation?
Yeah, I think that was best.
But that was
Yeah.
John, right?
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
Elway?
John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then final little thing, because I think it was, Todd, it was shortly after you joined us, and I don't know if it was on the show or if it was off the show, but when we were talking about, like, I don't know if it was a player's contract or salary cap or something, Hank and I were talking about the salary cap, like, oh, this guy's cap hit is this and cap hit is this, and you're like, I don't care about the cap. Tell me about the cash.
Exactly.
And it was so eye-opening because, like, of course, players don't, like you said, players don't care about what the team's salary cap is. They care about what their cash is going to be for that year and signing bonus and guaranteed money.
Yep.
Whereas from an outsider's perspective and from a team perspective, especially when you have rich owners and the cash doesn't matter at all, it's all about the salary cap, especially in the NFL since it's that hard salary cap and you can't go above it. So it's really funny how players think of it only cash, and outside, all we think about is the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a single salary cap or the money that the team has spent for any year of my career. But those 2 years before my contract, I can tell you every linebacker's pay, what they were making, what their contract said. Like, I was locked into my money and my money only.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, man. I don't understand none of that.
Exactly.
Well, and then the other weird part, so like salary cap wise, like it looks like you're just making more money every year, but really when you're on the rookie contract, you get like 80% of your money that first year, right? And then you kind of ride that with lower salaries ever since.
Yeah.
That's how it plays out, right? Like it's very different. How like it's whatever, I'm not sure what your numbers were, but it's like $20 million over 4 years, and you get like 13 of it or something, like just immediately.
Then comes taxes, then
Then-
all that, and it takes a toll on you. And I mean, that 20 mil contract I signed, I didn't even see that. So it was like, it was good to see for a moment of time, but I knew it was gonna go away. So
Well, I think it's time to pay the man. Let's get you paid again, Pat.
yeah, man.
Is money talked about in the locker room, or is that something that is like off limits? Because I heard, and I don't know if this has changed in the past couple of years, but what was it? There are a few things that aren't really talked about, and like politics is one of them. Is money one of those two?
That's not talked about unless somebody get paid.
Yeah. Like, if you see your teammate get a big contract, he's like, hey, big money, let me hold some. But, ain't nobody like really talking about contracts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So,
Do you hear much from people who are frustrated money wise, especially like last year, the contract or going through negotiations?
Nah, not really.
Huh.
It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like
Just
everybody's
private.
kind of like their own LLC or company in some way.
Yeah.
So, their negotiations are completely different from anybody else's. So I think you kind of keep it to yourself until you kind of sign your deal.
Huh.
Speaking of big deals, Russ, obviously the massive deal.
Very big deal.
Day after, big deal in many ways. A day after we had you on, it was announced that that Sean was going a different direction, benching us. What was the mood in the locker room? How did the locker room react?
Obviously it took a toll because, obviously quarterback like Russ, day in and day out, like he's a tremendous leader, and obviously when there's some changes to the depth chart, it just caught us by surprise a little bit, but we all know that it's the business side of things. We always was in, we always kept Russ. We was always keeping him, positivity, not like he, wasn't speaking positive affirmation all the time, but just being there, rallying behind him, it just goes to show what type of person he was. Obviously, Jared is a great quarterback as well in his right. So, I just felt like Sean felt like it was best for the team. But in general, obviously, it took a huge toll on the locker room because of how great of a person and how great of a teammate he is in Russ. And the player, of course. So.
Yeah, that speaks volumes right there. The team made it sound like there is a chance that Russ could come back next year. But, Pat, your whole time, I guess outside of this past season, but you've dealt with a couple of different uncertainties at quarterback here. Todd, your entire career after Payton?
After Payton, yeah.
Which was, what, 1.5 years of your career?
Yeah.
The rest of the time?
Well, and even Payton that second year, Brock took over for like half of that.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
not
was
half,
hurt.
6-7
Yeah,
weeks.
he was hurt.
Yeah.
But there was no. We always knew once Payton got healthy again, like he was back. You know what I'm saying? We were just waiting for him to get back.
This is a little bit off topic, but I asked Ryan Harris this. I can't remember how exactly I phrased it when we were at the Super Bowl, but it was something like his point was that he didn't think that Payton was any worse of a quarterback in the Super Bowl season than he was the year before. Which you get from the outside perspective, it's like the guy was throwing 40 touchdown passes.
Yeah, that's why.
Now he's throwing like 16 interceptions. Like, obviously still great, can control the game, all that sort of stuff. But there is a difference there, right?
There was a difference, but the
Okay.
thing about Payton that made him great, like that year our defense was phenomenal, and then Payton just scored every time we took the ball away. Like every time we made a big play, he made a big play. Like it wasn't always, cookies and ice cream the whole game, but when the play needed to be made, Payton came up with a play.
Okay.
So
Huh.
I guess in that regard, he was dominant in the same way he was the year before.
Yeah. It's like Russ in those 2-minute drills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2-minute drill
that's
Russ.
fascinating because that's actually one of the things that Sean pointed to yesterday. He said the offense, including me, wasn't good enough this year. Specifically, we did not take advantage of the field position that the defense gave us enough. And that's what you're saying. Payton took advantage of those.
Yeah, for sure. And looking back on this year, like they got the ball inside the 5 at least like 10 or 15 times. Like that's crazy in one season.
Yeah.
And so I understand him like wanting more production, like in that high red zone or low red zone. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would
Totally.
have had one more if Pat just could have held on to that pick this
Oh
Sunday.
my goodness, bro! I can't even, bro. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Sorry.
All offseason,
I just
It's
too.
brought
a
it back
nightmare,
up.
bro. It's a nightmare.
So with the quarterback uncertainty as players and especially because both of you have been through it, is that something that you pay attention to at all? Is it something that you really pay attention to? Do you try to court certain guys, or did you just say like, I'll show up for OTAs and whoever behind center, I'll do my job on defense?
Yeah, I worked hard and tried to do the best I could to prepare the team and just hope that they make the right decision. Like, I'm gonna be ready. I hope that they get somebody else in there that could, do what we need them to do.
I just feel like obviously you can't control what happens, but you just look to see what the team decides. That's the only thing you could do. Not put too much into it, but understand like, I'm gonna be watching. I'll be seeing like what's gonna go on, what moves they gonna make. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see.
We know there's a lot of group chats, especially texting and stuff, between whether it's a position or like a full defense or something. Is that something that's talked about with guys in those chats in the offseason? Not necessarily quarterback, but like big moves that the team makes? Or is it more just shooting the shit with the guys?
It's talked about big moves for sure. Like I remember, they always want to, in the NFL, they always want to replace you. You know what I'm saying? That was always the goal, to find somebody doing it better, whatever. So, like, whether it was me and Josie or me and B. Marsh, every year they didn't draft a linebacker, we like, hell yeah, we walking and rolling, baby. Yeah. So we would do stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah, you could see the signs of what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, Pat, you talked about how like you've just been laser focused on the season and week in, week out. Now you do kind of get to take a step back, and we talked about kind of the big picture stuff. But now you also get to enjoy yourself a little bit. And on Locker Cleanout on Monday, the question was asked, like, what do you do in the offseason to prepare yourself for next year? And you said, just as important as preparing for next year, you kind of need to take a step back and get away from it and refresh. And I think that's so spot on, because if today you're grinding as hard as you're grinding the day before training camp, you're just going to get burnt out naturally. Yeah. So what are some off-season plans?
Shoot, man. You got to take some time, relax, travel, see the world. Because the time we don't get during the season, you want to take that time to explore. And yeah, I mean, I just think the off season is time to really like self-evaluate. You know what you did the past season, and just focus on you know, just your mental, your mind, being able to relax, but also when that time again to train again, get back into the grind mode. You know what I mean? So.
You taking any trips like Bali, Dubai, Europe? You going anywhere?
Shoot, yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
Those are great places.
I haven't decided yet, but I'm definitely gonna be traveling overseas for sure. I don't know where yet. Australia? I heard that flight pretty far though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that might be on my bucket list for sure.
Man, especially if you go right now, you book the trip soon. It's summertime there.
Yeah.
Get away
Yeah.
from this. It's like, you guys see the weather on Sunday? It's like 5 degrees is the high or something like that.
It's like being back in Montana.
I need some warm weather, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Because a couple years ago, it wasn't last year, it was 2 years ago, you did Greece and Santorini and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year? What was
Yeah, last year.
That was last year?
It was Greece, Paris, what else? Mexico, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a Bali. Yeah, here's a fan of the Mexico one.
Yeah. Mexico a great time. Mexico a great time. I ain't gonna lie to you. Great time.
Great beaches, great
Yeah.
women, great food. What else do you want, my guy? You need that in Mexico.
Great
You're
time.
keeping it real.
I just need to keep going to Vegas. Just keep making money.
So you're ready
You
to go
see
back?
made money.
$48.
There you go.
Oh, it's like you trying to be in some trouble in Vegas.
For
That's what
sure.
you trying to do.
Was that a trip, the away trip this past week? Was that one where Sean or coaches or the organization was a little more uptight? Could you feel?
Yeah. Sean even told us like prior towards that week, nobody could go near the casino. Nobody can touch the casino. Because it was funny because the hotel we were staying at, like, it was a casino right like in the hotel. So they was like, you can't even look at it. You can't even think about touching nothing near it. Like you just gotta look past it and just go straight to your room. So it was like, yeah. I mean, it was tough.
I have to
Vegas
imagine
is
at
tough.
some point, not necessarily for you guys, but for some team, that's going to be a home field advantage
Oh,
for the
man.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Because
Somebody gonna
gonna
touch it. Somebody gonna mess up
Yeah.
and just cause a whole bunch of problems.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Do you travel, either of you, during off seasons, travel with teammates, or is it more so just traveling with like family and friends?
Yeah, I feel like every year we did at least one couple trip with a couple guys. Once a year. Somewhere nice, like Costa Rica or somewhere, like somewhere beachy. But then we do like at least 2 or 3 trips with the family because, like you said, you know, once you get to training camp, like you locked down for months. So
Yep.
you got to get out right now as much as you can.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it go through, sometimes it don't. It just gotta leave the group chat. Like it would just stay in the group chat for months and months. Then next thing you know, we ain't planned it. Now we all like,
Yeah.
dang, why we didn't go on this trip? Because
Yeah.
nobody say nothing. So it just depends if it leaves the group chat or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you the one leading that conversation?
I always talk about, man, we need to take a fellas trip. And be like, yeah. Then something comes up, or they be like, man, you know, I don't even feel like going no more.
Yeah.
We waited too long, so I'm like, man, I'm gonna go enjoy myself. I don't know what y'all gonna do,
See,
but
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
enjoy
get
myself.
back.
We don't need details, but is the one this weekend on?
Uh,
Or did that fall through?
it should be. It should be.
Should
No,
be.
it's on. It's on.
There we
It's
go.
on.
Let's go. Are we taking off? We going to Bali, Costa Rica, South fellas trip?
Super
as Pat
Bowl.
was saying?
Super Bowl in
Super
Vegas.
Bowl, yeah.
I'll be happy.
Going back to Vegas?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Full
do
week.
it.
Full week.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Full week.
If we got to,
Yeah.
I mean, we
Super
got
Bowl
to.
week.
Okay.
Do you know? Are you going to Super Bowl week?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
go Super Bowl.
We'll see you out there then.
Oh,
I'll be
Yeah.
there.
That was the first time we had you on our show.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl
Yeah.
was
First
last
time.
year. Yeah. Arizona. It's gonna be a little different in Vegas this year.
Yeah.
wait.
Oh,
I don't know.
will be.
Arizona, it seemed like everything was like spread out
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah, it was different than most Super Bowls. Rather than having everything in one area, it was like certain areas you gotta go this way, you gotta go this area to do this and that. So
And I
We'll
don't
see how they
think
do it. Vegas, I feel like Vegas, everything's gonna be.
It's just on the
right
straight.
there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
And Sean's not gonna be keeping you guys out of the casinos that time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you might have to hope that new contract doesn't hit by then. You don't want to be spending
Or
all
you
of
hope
it.
it
No.
does. Anything else we got?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we covered everything.
Yeah. I guess, how would you, we'll wrap it up with this. But the obligatory, like, how would you grade your season since it's now officially over?
As a team or just me individually? Like,
I'd say both.
Yeah, both.
as a team, I'll say it's been some ups and downs. I think obviously the result wasn't what we wanted to be, but as a team, I could say we've made some turnarounds. Obviously, from the first couple of games this year, obviously it wasn't acceptable. Then we changed it around, got that winning streak going on. I think we battled a lot of adversity and we handled it well. But I think that next step for us is to finish games and to understand that games we're supposed to win, we know, okay, we got to close these out. So I think that next step is just to finding keys to win games, but also reach to that next step, which is playoffs and even more. And for me, like I told y'all earlier, I think it was, up and down year for me. I had some ups, I had some downs, but for me, next year is to stay the course and stay consistent and just keep on staying elite. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. And I think a huge thing there is staying elite because you are elite, Pat, and that's very, very clear. And everyone should be shooting for where you're at, of like you're one of the top two at your position in the entire league, and you still think that you had like an up and down year. It's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn
It's just
good.
me, man.
Yeah.
My standard and stuff. So I'm always be my hardest critic.
Yep.
That's just me. So
What's Pops like to you? Is he even harder?
yeah, about the same. So.
Man,
Yeah.
Pat, it has been awesome having you on our show throughout the season. We thank you so much. We'll catch up in the off season
Oh, yeah,
as
definitely,
well.
man.
It has been awesome to have you on. Get away, enjoy yourself, and maybe there's a contract in the future soon, but we love having you on, love the insight. It has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, man,
Thank you,
appreciate
Pat.
y'all. I enjoyed my time throughout the season, just having sit down and conversate. Not even just about football, just different things. I think it was a great deal throughout the season. I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, since
I
you liked it so
appreciate
much, tomorrow you're back?
I don't know, I'll be pretty busy, but
Well, Pat, it has been awesome. Thank you so much, and we'll have you on anytime you want to be on.
Yep.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank y'all, man.
We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m.
We all silly like the mayor.